Hi, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to One Snatch. It's almost Valentine's Day, so today I'm doing a Valentine's Day look while I talk about Drag Race. A lot of construction going on this week, okay, from the RuPaul ball from Drag Race UK versus the world and the Construction Glamazon Prime Challenge where they have to make stuff out of unconventional materials. Okay, quite a lot of looks to go through, and also my gorgeous Valentine's Day flowery heart look, alright? If you want to see how I do my heart-inspired Valentine's Day look, stay tuned, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell for post notifications, alright? Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Alright, I'm back and let's start talking about Drag Race UK vs. the World, episode 2. Okay, this was a construction challenge where they have to make a dress that RuPaul herself would wear. So this time it's not unconventional materials, but they're allowed to use fabric and everything like that. So it's really a seamstress challenge. So if they prepared, they would have, made a few dress patterns and everything and figured out how to do this. And I think some of them really did that. These are people who have already been on Drag Race, so they should know that they should know how to sew by now. I've tried taking sewing lessons. I've done 10 sewing lessons. I could probably do a simple A-line skirt, but that's about it. And, well, I've been sewing a lot lately because I've been sewing like wefts into my wigs. I've been sewing wig cages and everything. So, hopefully I'll be able to hand sew stuff like Pangina pretty soon. All right, let's just get everything out of the way. My hair is getting really, really long, so I need to get a haircut soon. Plan for today's look is going to be a Valentine's Day look. I made this heart-shaped wig cage to give myself some sort of a Queen of Hearts kind of hair, and it's going to be kind of roses and everything. I'm going to try a really avant-garde heart-shaped crease. The colors on my crease, I think I'm inspired by Syrah Variety's makeup for her Valentine's Day look. Syrah is Pangina's drag sister, and apparently she helped Pangina get ready for Drag Race, okay? I was listening to Alright Mary where they had Pangina on. I would listen to that episode if I were you, okay? And yeah, so Syrah is amazing makeup artist and her costumes are really gorgeous also. In fact, Syrah made over like Miss Thai Universe for YouTube once, and that was the inspiration of Andre Rizali and my collaboration last year. I'm going to see whether I can get those colors into my crease, and I'm going to do a heart-shaped crease and really, really striking makeup. And I'm wearing my old D-Squared love thing. D-Squared is love thing. This really cute shirt, really cute tank top. The other issue I wanted was whether I wanted to paint a heart all the way around my face, but I think I don't need to. There's a lot going on already. You know what? You only live once. Okay, so let's paint a heart on my face. I think to do that I need to put on my face tapes so I don't distort it later. Alright, so Drag Race UK versus the World, episode 2. Lemon just went home and Jimbo reveals that he has Janie Jacquet's lipstick. Okay, and here Janie Jacquet was a bit trying to, I don't know, start drama or something. I think that was pretty natural the way she did it, but Monique Hart did not help matters by saying that she looked like drag brunch with her puff sleeves, and then the next day said that she was like first time in drag. So I think, wow, Monique's really going for Janie Jacquet, and Janie Jacquet wasn't taking the bait. She actually tried to, tone it down and said, okay, I'm listening to your critiques and I'm taking it in. So I think this was a good trajectory for her because, of course she ended up winning this episode. Okay, let's map out this heart. Oh, when they're taking off the makeup here, you can see how different Cheryl Ho's foundation is to a normal skin. Completely different. That's why in drag, you don't really need to care about stuff like your undertones and everything, because you basically paint on a whole new face. So you can be any color you want, except, well, a different race. Okay, Cheryl Ho is already starting to almost admit defeat by getting this mediocre thing into her catchphrase, which I think is quite defeatist. She keeps calling herself mediocre. So I think she shouldn't be, selling herself short so much. Using my clown white light, buff this in. Okay, and then RuPaul comes in and announces the RuPaul ball. Okay, so here they have to, as I said, design outfits that RuPaul herself would wear, which basically means a Zaldi-inspired outfit. And I'm quite surprised they didn't get Zaldi to come in to judge as well. Maybe they couldn't get his visa because of the pandemic or something, but yeah. It seems like RuPaul's hair person is slightly different for UK as well. I have a feeling he's using different hair people. I mean, Raven's obviously there doing his makeup, but Zaldi is not there because I think Zaldi would have been perfect for this runway. In the past, they had people like Bob Mackie and everyone coming to do this kind of challenges. Okay, so that's the heart. And I'm going to clean up around the edges later for the skin tone. Okay, let's go in and map out the crease with a little bit of pink, okay, from the Athena palette. I'm going to be using a semi-fluffy brush. I'm using this hot pink here, and I'm just going to map out my heart-shaped crease. Okay, so they're collecting their materials. Jimbo is getting all the gold stuff, okay, very smart. Jimbo's a costume designer, so you expect him to do very well in this challenge. He did go home on his design challenge last time, and apparently last time was because he did not have any experience in makeup. So, he was concentrating everything on his looks, and he came up with this really, really white face and everything, much like what I'm doing now. And he didn't do very well in his design challenge, so he had something to prove this time. If I were there, I would have probably chosen something orange, okay? Because we know that orange is RuPaul's favorite color, okay? If we watch Drag Race UK Season 3, that's what Vanity Milan got away with a lot. So orange or, gold is something RuPaul always wears. Use a smaller sponge. I'm just gonna blend the sides too. Okay, I don't want it too pink because I want to layer in a bit of purples and stuff. So blend it out a little bit. I'm gonna set this quickly. Okay, so just using a wipe, I'm just gonna clean up all the way around. Jenny Jacquet and Pangina have never done a design challenge before, so we don't know what their skills are. There wasn't a design challenge on Drag Race Holland. And Pangina did reveal that when she got the call, she had so many lessons. It sounds like she really, really prepared for this, okay, more than anyone else. I mean, I don't know whether more than anyone else, but she did say that she took sewing lessons, okay? She learned how to sew. In fact, she's hand sewing here. Probably easier than using the sewing machine. And she also had like runway preparations. She borrowed stuff from all the designers and all her friends in Bangkok. So, she's really, really well prepared. Now that heart is done, let's go into the rest of the face. Let's take this off so I don't dirty it. Okay, for the rest of the face, I'm gonna go in with 5W. Use a little bit of the AOA. This one is in amber. And of course here Cheryl Ho cuts her finger. There's an injury. Almost every week there is some sort of injury on Drag Race. I think they need to really start to look into workplace safety more seriously. This is a little bit darker. I lighten it up a little bit. 2W. Middle here. Okay, Ru comes in and starts talking to the girls. Okay, he talks to them in batches. She talks to the UK girls first, then the US girls, and the rest of them together. You can tell here that she really, really likes Bagger. Okay, Bagger, I think when she says that she's Ru's favorite, is definitely onto something. Okay, because I think she knows that RuPaul just loves her, just adores her. That's why she's getting away with so much. She's walking around doing research and not really working on her dress. She's even sleeping when RuPaul comes into the workroom, okay? Really, really daring. I'm ready to go into my eyes. I'm going to go in first with some pink, okay, on the outside. I'm going to try using my Blend Bunny Search palette. It's another rainbow palette here. Really nice, and it's got this really deep row in the middle there that looks like it's going to be really fun to use. There's a video of Sarah doing this on her channel where she actually goes in with the mid-tones and the lighter tones first, cuts it, and then goes in with the deep tones. That's really smart, because if you do that, you don't muddy up your cut crease with the deeper tones. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. Okay, I'm going to try using this old Morphe blending brush. You're going to use a pink. I'm going to try to use cheeks, okay, just to blend upwards. This is very pastel. Okay, after meeting Ru, Jimbo is really emotional because he's never met Ru before, and this was like validation for him. Really touching, okay, that he felt so much about it. Of course, it could just be for camera time because they all know that Drag Race will show these kind of things, okay? Not if he was indifferent. So that was definitely a lot of camera time. So I have a very diffuse kind of a pink here, and I'm going to go in tighter and tighter. Now going in with some, I think, red. Okay, this may be. And I'm just going to define the crease a little bit here. Okay, this have to remember where the heart is going to go. Okay, it's going to be like that. So this also almost gives kind of like a sad clown kind of crease. I don't really like the oranges there, so I'm going to use this one here, this coral from the Glam Light palette. A lot of new palettes today. I think this one goes much better. It's a bit more of a pinkish orange. See, that gives it so much more dimension. Just touch it in between those two colors. Okay, that's nice. Okay, let's go back in with the pink. This to blend that up. Drag this color down a bit for the nose contour. That's about it. Now we can go in and cut that crease, that heart-shaped crease. Monique actually has a lot of experience making her own outfits, okay, because we know that that's what she did all the way on season 10, okay, when she basically had to make a new outfit every single week. She's no stranger to the sewing machine, and she does have this very interesting concept of this neon green layered with olive green sequins, okay, and it's really, really good combination and really complements RuPaul's skin tone as well. So it'd be really cool if she pulls this off. Spoiler alert, she doesn't. So just using the white, I'm going to cut this crease and make it look like a heart. Okay, so that's the idea. Here, Blue pulls Jujubee aside to talk about her gender journey in drag. Okay, I think this is quite an interesting conversation where Blue says that, you know, as she got more famous, she found it very difficult to reconcile how much she wanted to be blue and whether that meant that she was trans or on the gender spectrum. I think this is something that is quite common for a lot of drag queens, okay, that you spend so much time in drag that you just wonder that sometimes the lines are blurred, and if you don't have a really strong sense of identity, you can easily confuse the two, okay, and think that you might be, you know, trans or something. And I think a lot of drag queens go through that. I mean, for example, Mandy Morphosis went through the same thing, okay, wondering whether she was trans. Everyone's journey is slightly different. Jujubee, this is probably why they brought her on, has the wisdom of many years of drag and many years of drag race, okay, because in drag race, you can really conflate the two, and everybody keeps giving you such affirmations about your drag that you kind of wonder where your boy self is and where everything else lies. I definitely have gone through this as well. You know, when I first started drag, sometimes a lot of my friends, every time they saw me, they always ask, why aren't you in drag? Why aren't you in drag? It's like, it got really annoying at one point because we'd be going to watch a movie and then people ask, why aren't you in drag? It's like, I'm expected to be in drag all the time. I was like, it got really annoying. So, you know, I really understand where they're coming from. And also, recently, Bosco on season 14 has come out as trans. She has this really smart caption saying she's coming out as straight, okay? She's a straight woman because she's trans. I have a feeling Bosco, we'll get into this later, but I think she's headed for the top, okay? After Conrad left, they really are struggling to figure out who's going to be pushed to the front, and I think Bosco's one of them. All right, okay, I'm going to set all this white and deepen up this crease, and I'll be right back. Okay, so these are my kind of like heart-shaped eyes. I'm gonna fill in the inside here with red, okay, so it's not so stark. I think for this red I will go for the glam light, okay, and then I'm going to use the red in the glam light here. It's a little bit more red than the one in that palette, and keep a white rim there, so I have my heart there, right there. Alright, so the runway. Okay, so 3 looks, and this runway is inspired by names of RuPaul's songs. Okay, so of course there's Kitty Girl, which is a cat-inspired runway. Butch Queen, which is a manly inspired runway inspired by the actual category in the balls, and You Wear It Well, which is something that RuPaul would wear herself. I think there were definitely clear winners here. Okay, Pangina's 3 looks were pretty good. Her cat runway is really different from everyone else. The Kitty Girl runway, because she chose this hairless cat, whereas everyone else chose fur, she looked incredible. Okay, this was done by a Thai designer called Prapakas. Okay, she looked great. Okay, her Butch Queen, Syrah Variety apparently helped her to conceptualize this, and she used an actual Ferragamo scarf for the headpiece. So there's a bit of fashion there. But you know, the Vivienne has done this look before, so when it came out, I was like, oh, I wish she came out with something more sexy, because you know, she is really hot as a guy as well. So I thought some sort of Butch Queen realness, something like what Bagger Chips wore would have looked amazing on Pangina. And her final outfit, her You Wear It Well outfit, it looked a little bit unfinished when she had the drawing and everything. I thought, wow, it's going to be amazing. But you know, she did say that it was supposed to be 2 levels, so she had hooks that would give it different levels, and when she came out later, it was a bit longer. So I think she should have maybe done a reveal on the runway or something. But you know, these were really strong looks, and I really think she should have been in the top instead. Okay, but they couldn't have Pangina and Jimbo in the top again, so they really had to give it to someone else. Okay, so actually if you go to the Twitter, you can actually see all the looks in 3s. Okay, so that's Pangina's. Janie Jacquet's looks When she first came out with the Egyptian cat thing, I thought she looked really good. Okay, I thought she actually looked quite stunning. But you know, it is after all a Party City Egyptian Cleopatra look with some cat ears and face paint. So it wasn't really too kitty cat for me. Her orange is a new black runway. Also didn't scream Butch Queen, okay? She just kind of like snarled, and that's supposed to be Butch. But you know, if she changed her walk or anything, it wouldn't have been very Butch at all. Okay, going around the purple. This is covered from the Blend Bunny palette. Okay, and her You Read Well runway. I can see why she won for this, okay? It is a very well-made bodysuit, except for the seam right down the front. I think the patterns she brought were a little bit off because you shouldn't have that seam all the way in the front. But you know, as Trixie did in All Stars 3, you just have to make a really good catsuit or bodysuit, okay? Get that pattern right and make it really well, and that impresses RuPaul quite a lot. So that was quite smart of Janie, except I thought that was a little bit not very cute, that seam all the way down the front. But it's very well made, fits her very well, okay? And she looks amazing. Oh yeah, and you know the only thing about Pangina is that she's the only one that didn't really do RuPaul hair, okay? She did this really 20s kind of a mod kind of hair, and that didn't really look RuPaul at all. So I think that could have been why she was kept out of the top. Okay, everyone else had really big RuPaul hair, especially Jenny Jacquez. I love this hair she's wearing here. Next is Cheryl Hole. When she stepped out, I thought this was Kitty Scott Claus. Okay, the shape is almost exactly the same, and this looks like something that Kitty would wear. Her Butch Queen, another one that didn't really scream Butch. It was just a motorcycle thing with these Tina Burner flames. And of course, her the one that she made was really bad. Okay, this one, I think the minute it came on the runway, you knew that she was probably going to be going home. Maybe that's why people like Bag of Chips didn't even try, because they saw this in the runway. Cheryl Hole, of course, came up with a music video, okay, on her Elimination. I must say, I don't want to fat shame anyone, but she does not look very good in her music video. It looked like she is a little bit misshapen and everything is a little bit off. Everything doesn't really fit her very well. I didn't think she looked very nice or polished in her music video. Even her dance moves didn't look very good. Alright. Oh, Jujubee. When Jujubee came out, her first two looks were terrible. I just wrote here basic. She's really not trying at all. She was probably told when she got on that she was promised that she would reach at least Snatch Game, okay? Because that's probably why they brought her on, because of her amazing All-Stars 5 Snatch Game. I really don't think she put a lot of effort into any of these looks. Really disappointing, Jujubee. Her kitty girl look, the only kitty girl thing was that her boobie thing had cat-shaped ears on them. Otherwise, it was really just super disappointing, okay? She didn't even try, and I'm really glad that RuPaul called her out on the runway for that. Okay, blowing this out a lot more. Going back in with all the different colors again. The thing that she made was also pretty basic, and she has this runway thing where she keeps opening up her thing to show these Barbie crotch again. But at least her hair was quite okay here. I think Jujubee's pretty much coasting here, and I really hope, as Monique says, this is like, you know, strategy for her, and she really kicks it into high gear soon and show us why RuPaul keeps bringing her back. Jimbo looks great, okay? His kitty girl thing is this Lisa Frank kind of orange and purple neon catsuit with these space buns and fur. Looks fabulous. Her Butch Queen is also great. This Terry Mugler, she reminds me of like Katie Sagal in Sons of Anarchy, okay? really like this look, and she sold it really well. Love this hair, okay? Really appropriate for Butch Queen. And what she made was pretty good, okay? She nailed the RuPaul hair. She has this silhouette which is very RuPaul. The only thing is that although she did try to line this, it does look like the sequins are a little bit rough around the edges, but you know, this is definitely a winning look compared to everyone else. Okay, Bag of Chips. Bag of Chips, her outfit. This was really an amazing costume, but obviously someone else made it for her, because you know, her makeup is so terrible. If you just zoom in and look at the makeup that she did for this look, it's so basic. It's just a white face and pink eyes and pink lips. Kind of what I'm doing, but you know, she didn't push it. The costume's doing all the work, and of course she sold it in a runway and everything, but it looked cute, okay, and it's nice. Her Butch Queen, okay. It just looked like she got this overall from somewhere and just cinched it in. You can see it's baggy in some places, and she didn't even wear a wig, okay? She could have just worn a finger wave wig or something, but she used her real hair here. So Not really. And then of course her RuPaul outfit, which they made it look like Pangina did most of the work here, but Pangina said on a podcast that she only was fixing it while Bagger was out of the room. Bagger didn't ask her to do this, and apparently Bagger did make most of this herself. Okay, so it's possible. Doesn't hit the ground. Should have been in the bottom. I think it should have been her and Jujubee in the bottom. No, actually should have been her and Cheryl Hole in the bottom. Should put all three in the bottom. Blue Hydrangea was okay, passable. Her kitty cat was okay, a little bit messy. This kind of a space kitty thing. There's not much going on up here. I wish there was a bigger wig or something. Her Butch Queen was fabulous. Okay, this wig is great. She did this kind of a strongman at the circus kind of look, and even her dress looks like this big top thing. So and it's really different from anything that she's ever done. Her RuPaul look. This color looked good in the workroom, but it looks so dull here. It just didn't translate to the stage. Although it's quite well constructed and everything, and she has this big RuPaul hair. She made this RuPaul hair. It's supposed to be RuPaul from Vanity Fair, that cover that she did. She mentioned in her tutorial on YouTube that she actually made this RuPaul hair. RuPaul's hair is usually a little bit more side swept, okay? This was a safe look, I think. And of course, Monique Hart comes out. Her kitty cat is Luna from Sailor Moon, okay? I would have done cosplay, so I would have done Felicia from Darkstalkers, okay? I've always wanted to do that. Big blue hair and a very nice catsuit. That is what I would have done. And Monique's Butch Queen, iconic look. This is what Butch Queen actually is, okay? She looks great, okay? And then, of course, she does a lavender handkerchief thing at the back. Fabulous. And what she made was good, okay? Didn't hit the floor. There's some issue going on at the top here where the asymmetrical thing isn't really fitting very well, and I think she knows that. Okay, so it wasn't executed very well, but this hair is really, really nice RuPaul hair. RuPaul used to wear this hair a lot. I think she was wearing it last year or the year before. Fabulous. Okay, so also a very safe look. So yeah, I do agree that the top is definitely Jimbo, okay, and probably Pangina deserved it more, but I think they couldn't give it to her this time and had to give it to Janie Jacquet. I need to add some black to this using vinyl from the Blend Bunny. Okay, so Janie Jacquet and Jimbo lip sync, and of course Jimbo obviously cannot lip sync. So I'm just wondering whether that's going to feature into future wins. Okay, if RuPaul sees that Jimbo cannot lip sync, he might keep him out of the top because it's just not really exciting lip syncs for the rest of the season. Yeah, he cannot lip sync. So anyone up against him, I don't think he will ever win lip sync unless he does some sort of clownery thing, which I think he should try to explore. Okay, and yeah, so Janie Jacquet wins and sends Cheryl Hole packing. Yeah, so yeah, I think Cheryl Hole wasn't going to last that much longer, I think. So yeah, I think this is quite a apt place for Cheryl to leave. Alright, and Lemon's looks were amazing also. Her kitty cat look is this kind of a little bit like what Tempest Joe wore last week. Okay, this head to toe leopard print, okay, looks stunning. Okay, and her Butch Queen, fabulous. Okay, a suit in the front, and then when you turn around, it's all jewels and showgirl at the back. Alright, so that is Drag Race UK versus the World. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, let my lights charge, maybe contour my face a little bit, and we'll be back to talk about Season 14, Episode 6, Glamazon Prime. Alright, I'm back and there's a lot going on there. I've added the brows, and I'm going in with a whole bunch of blush now. Okay, before I do it my lips, and then I'm gonna glue a bunch of stuff to my face. Alright, so Season 14, Episode 6, Glamazon Prime, Unconventional Materials Challenge. I think this is a lot harder than fabric. Actually, I don't know. Fabric, you're kind of expected to make something that looks like a dress, but here, I think sometimes when you can actually see the unconventional materials, it actually puts you in the top a little bit more. Okay, for example, Davina De Campo, when she did that plastic bag look, that looked really, really good, and Utica with the sleeping bags and everything. I really don't know how they judge this, okay? I don't think Georgia should have won this either. She looked really skimpy. I think RuPaul's madly in love with her, just like she was with Crystal Versace in last season of Drag Race UK. They come into the workroom, and Georges has just sent Orion Story home, and Georges here, she's shook here. This is a really kind of a roller coaster ride for Georges, and I think because Ru loves her so much, she is probably going to be doing quite well also. Deja and Diabetic get into it, okay? In the last Untucked, Deja did seem a little bit bitter and grumpy, okay? And she was really going for everyone, and here she continues that streak by being a little bit antagonistic to Diabetic, and Diabetic is really getting into the feeling. She's getting the Jan edit where they just will not give her a break, okay? And I think they're just trying to break her down, okay? And, get her to snap, because I think she is really starting to feel overlooked. and she's starting to snap at everyone. She said here that she's not disappointed, she's just wondering why she wasn't in the top, and that really builds up to the end when she's really, you could see the face at the end where she's really pissed off that Georges actually won and she didn't. You need to deepen up this with some purple. They're really cutting a lot of parts of Maddie out. Here Deja looked like she was going to talk to Maddie about something, but that was, left out, and they just kept in the fight between Deja and Daya. So it does seem like Maddie's getting kind of this edit where, they're just using her for the story, but they're not giving her very much else in terms of, interaction with other queens and stuff like that, except until today's Untucked. Okay, now I'm going to go into the lips. The lips are going to be big, I think lined with purple and red inside, I guess, the same as the eyes. I thought it was really cute here where they showed Willow Pill doing a wonk wonk, like what's her name from season 6. Line this lip. Giving myself a really big lip today. Oh, this looks really clowny. RuPaul announces a challenge. It's a Glam Zone Prime when Michelle is shopping on Glambian. So she's got too much junk. This is quite triggering. All this boxes, it's really like me after Black Friday. But mine's all makeup. And I think they really should make a commentary here on how Amazon Prime, whenever you order something, they send so much stuff to you, okay? If you can, one order can come in 5 different packages, and that's so much packaging wasted. I wonder whether if anyone made an outfit of the boxes, that would have been, extra points. Blend these lips a little bit and then clean her up. Okay, very, very clowny. Okay, watch this change from clown to woman. Oh, and here Willow Pill, quite sad also, she's trying to open. I don't know why they didn't give them pen knives or something, or whether it was a safety issue. They could have just used a pair of scissors to open, but her hands are so deformed and so gnarled because of her cystinosis that she couldn't open the boxes, and Cornbread isn't here to help her. So yeah, she ended up with scraps, as they say. But I think she really made it work in the end. Let's see whether they can change this clown to beautiful woman. Clean it up a little bit. So the bottom lip is a little bit too wide. If you clean it up, it can look a little bit better, I think. That Betty is starting to show a little bit of a ugly competitive streak. Okay, she tells Willow Pill she can't do a baby doll dress just because she's doing one. She asks the judges directly for advice on and how she can improve, which they just told her stop being like Crystal Method. Okay, which I don't think that's not what she wanted to hear. Alright, now I'm going to start gluing stuff to my face. Got a whole bunch of rose petals here, okay, which I will put on the outside rim there. I'm just going to cut these curved so they will sit against my face. I'm just going to put the petals on the outside and then going to put gems all the way around the inside. Oh, it's not too much. And here they show Carrie, kind of complaining that she doesn't sew and everything. Why are they giving them so many chances? I mean, Carrie making so much noise but not sewing. This is season 14, okay? I think just for that alone, they should put her in the bottom. Metamorphosis gets some time here again. Again, they lay up this whole thing about his, not being able to run with it and not being in on the joke as much by saying things like, oh, my pussy's just warming up, and looking a bit uncomfortable every time Ru talks about gay lingo, okay? I think they're really trying to drive in here that Maddie is a little bit uncomfortable, but Maddie didn't get a great edit this episode. And then during the makeup, they do notice that Georges' fur material wasn't really working. It was kind of like falling apart. She had to remake everything with this new material that Angira gave her that looked a lot like Carrie Colby's J-Lo dress. They mentioned that Deja's outfit was underwhelming for someone who's supposedly an amazing seamstress. Other mirror moments for Carrie and Maddie. Carrie says that, she was thrown out of the house. Maddie also says that her mom left the family when she was young, and she was brought up by her father and her grandma. And then it's time for the runway. Ru comes out in a baby doll thing. So, there's this whole baby doll thing going on. I mean, last week I mentioned that for Watch It Packing, Michelle Visage seems to be obsessed with baby doll dresses. I'm just wondering whether they're trying to make make it a thing. Whether RuPaul's coming up with a line of baby doll dresses soon. Now I'm going to go in with these pink gems. This light has kind of gone off. And Taraji P. Henson is guest judging. And Taraji P. Henson, Ru asks her what the P stands for. And she says, it stands for Pay Them Bitches No Mind. And that is actually what Marsha P. Johnson said. Okay, when anyone asked her what the P stood for. And Marsha P. Johnson, of course, is the trans activist who was one of the people who apparently threw the first brick at Stonewall. And here's the runway. Okay, so highlights of the runway. Who were my favorites? I think Diabetes' look was actually pretty good, okay? Although, I think what probably landed her in the bottom is that it didn't really look like an unconventional materials challenge. It looked like she brought that from home. That was probably the reason why she didn't end up in the top. And she kind of like repeated her makeup from last week as well. A little bit more exaggerated. I think she's really trying to move away from the Crystal Method mug. I thought Willow Pills was really, really smart. Okay, she looked so cute. And she had these big arms. It's almost like Xianko from Darkstalkers as well. Xianko, the vampire girl who I'm totally obsessed with. It's like, she looked really cute. But yeah, it did look probably unfinished. And that's why she was probably kept out of the top as well. I do agree Maddie was not serving it this time. And she deserved to be in the bottom. And poor Jasmine Kennedy, she was the one who wanted another ball because she was so disappointed she didn't win the first time, and this time she's in the bottom for this one, so she probably will be complaining again, I think next episode. Lady Camden's look, although they put her in the top, I thought it really looked pretty unfinished. I wasn't the biggest fan for it. The little twisty bits that she tried to put all around were not looking very polished. It looked quite frazzled. Even Angeria's look, it was basically a little black dress with two fans placed here. I thought it would have been nicer if she kind of like cut the fans out to give it a kind of a, you know, a more structured look here rather than covering up the whole neck. But that's just me. They gave the win to Georges, which I thought was not deserved. I don't think Georges deserved this win at all. I think this was Ru just playing favorites. I really thought Bosco did quite well. She looked really cute. I mean, her outfit definitely looked like it was unconventional materials, and she maybe should have been in the top as well. But she was caught safe. And this time they show a little bit of Untucked. They barely do this, okay, because they show a little bit of a snippet to show some drama between Jasmine Kennedy and Maddie Morphosis. Maddie Morphosis really, I think, was probably feeling that she was holding back so long, and now she goes in on Jasmine. It's a little bit like Tamisha Iman, you know? When you know you're in the bottom, you try to drum up some drama because that might push them to save you. So maybe that was the strategy, because it was a little bit out of character for Maddie Morphosis to be so pointed. I thought Carrie Colby's look was terrible. I think she should have been the bottom instead. I guess if I can't remember, the rest of them were pretty unmemorable. So that was a runway. And of course, Jasmine Kennedy, they show an Untucked. Maddie Morphosis and Jasmine Kennedy going for it. I think Maddie Morphosis here really does maybe misspoke, okay, saying I think she was just trying to talk herself up because she sent someone home before, and Jasmine Kennedy was not having any of it. Okay, I think Jasmine Kennedy was rightfully a little bit taken aback. Maddie thought that she could send her home, and Maddie Morphosis unfortunately did give the producers a lot of fodder to paint her as delusional. But you know, when I think you're on Drag Race, you have to be a little bit delusional. You have to be able to push yourself and believe that you're better than you are to get you through. And I think a lot of queens have said that. Okay, so unfortunately, Maddie does go home. She does say here that she's the first openly straight contestant on Drag Race, and I think that's a little bit of a misspeaking, because you're not ever openly straight, because you are basically, straight people are the default, and you never have to come out. Maybe in the setting of Drag Race, maybe, okay, because everyone else is queer, but you know, to actually say that you're openly straight is a little bit insulting to queer people. So I think hopefully she walks that back. Okay, I'm going to highlight the lips a little bit with some. That's a look. Okay, I'm going to maybe throw on some glitter there, throw on some lashes and lenses, and I'll be right back with the finished look. All right, see you in a bit. All right, and this is the finished look. Valentine's Day with a big wig cage hair and my lovely rose nails. And that was my review of Drag Race UK vs. the World Episode 2 and Drag Race Season 14 Episode 6, Dumbs on Prime. What do you think of these ball challenges? Who do you think should have been in the top? And who do you think should have sashayed away? I think it's pretty much Maddie Morphosis' time this time, and Cheryl Hole as well. So this week, not much controversy, except for Georgia's winning. I don't think she should have won. I think she should have gone to Bosco instead again, but they couldn't get Bosco a second win in a row. I think production is really scrambling because of all these, unexpected things, but that's reality TV for you. Alright, so if you like this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and ring that bell for post notifications. Check out my TikTok where you can see the whole outfit, okay? I'm doing a really grand thing for Valentine's Day this year. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye! Check out my other videos. I did hair horntail from the previous ball, and also I turned myself into a kumquat tree for Chinese New Year. Bye!